Hi, welcome to INSET video that was for the 13th of April 2011. It's all to do with Google Chrome, and in no particular order we're going to be looking at these 10 bits and pieces about Google Chrome. Now, I've looked around the internet and looked around YouTube, and I've seen various things from mahalo.com and from this lady here, rosetwyford.com, and they talk about the use of Google Chrome features. But as you can see here, this is the older version of Google Chrome. So what I'm going to do is just basically go through the new bits and pieces in Google Chrome, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is the navigation. This is what I did yesterday in the INSET in the staff meeting, and I should repeat it here. You can see that some of my tabs here are slightly smaller, and what I've done is right click on them and pin the tabs. What this allows me to do is that when I open up Google Chrome, these regular tabs that I use, so I have my my Google Chrome, my Gmail for my Google Apps here, that's open, my regular email, my Google Documents, Twitter, SoundCloud, obviously YouTube, and then other bits and pieces in my tabs at the bottom, at the top. What this allows me to do as well is move these around. I can break them apart so I can have new windows and they can fit back. These are called dynamic tabs. The next thing I talked about was the web store. Now, the web app store. Now, if you've just opened up Google Chrome on your computer at home, it'll probably look maybe a little bit like this. You might have maybe one or two recently closed shortcut boxes, but these will fill up as you start using Google Chrome, and this will be your history. In your apps, if you click and open your apps, these are the apps that I've got on my computer here at work. These will be pretty much the same as what I have at home, and these will follow me around. If this is through syncing the browser, I can show you right now how this works. First of all, I'm going into my web app store. If it isn't there straight away, you can always go to the Google Chrome web app store, and it'll take you there if it's the first time you're using it. What this allows you to do is install some apps into your homepage, or things that you generally use. You've got to be careful here, because sometimes they're just shortcuts to web pages, which can be quite annoying, because you could just have them in your bookmarks at the top. The extensions, however, are quite nice, because you can get news and weather apps. So one that I have been using recently, or one that I use a lot, is Read Write Web. So the one here, and I can go and install that. And what this does is it installs a little icon in the top corner here. So it means I can get the latest news from Read Write Web, if I could say it. I'm going to go and disable that because I don't really want it at the moment. So the web app store, if you're an educator, there are lots and lots of apps here that are written in HTML5. In particular, the planetarium, I think. Me Genius Books is pretty good. It reads books out loud to you on your IWB. It's pretty handy for lower school. And again, that will pop up when you go to a new tab, and it'll be here, so you can see that I've got the Avery Suite is museums, online museums, games, obviously, and music. So you can see that there's a multitude of things you can choose. Audio tool is very good, but as you can see that sometimes they just become links to web pages. The next thing we're going to talk about is the little spanner or wrench in the corner. What this allows us to do is go into the options, and it gives us three areas: basics, personal stuff, under the hood. And the basics are homepage. So guardian.co.uk, I might keep that as my homepage because I go there every day. You can get it to open up the following. You can get it to open up pages rather than pinning a tab, but personally I prefer to have my tabs pinned. That means I can change them on the go. Toolbars, obviously, you can change if you use Yahoo or Bing. Depends which is your favourite search tool. Default browser, if this is red or highlighted, just click it. Personal stuff, so this is quite handy because this is how each application on each computer syncs. So I'm going to set up a sync right now. I'm just going to go and sign in. So now it's setting up for my account as I've just signed in, and it'll sync, and it should sync the themes at the same time. So if you just have a look over here, you can see it's starting to sync my reader, turn off the lights, stumble upon, delicious, and then all my bookmarks as well. And you can also see that I have a black theme on my laptop at home, so it keeps to the same theme here. Under the hood, it allows you to set more advanced options. Cloud printing, I can never actually get this to work, the cloud printing, but some people get some mileage out of it. I don't, to be honest. Next thing I'm going to talk about is searching. In the main difference between this and a lot of other browsers, particularly IE, I'm not sure if Safari does it. I think Firefox 4 now does it, but a lot of people still use the search bars on the right hand side. In some sites like Facebook and Amazon, when you go to Amazon.com and you hit tab, within here you can actually search throughout the site. So it's a bit like searching, in site, and then searching for whatever it is that you need to search for, Amazon.com, Amazon.co.uk, shoes, for example. The good thing about this, and particularly at our school, is that if I go to google.com and actually go to the search. So if I did Yuri Gagarin, which his 50th anniversary came up the other day, the search tools on the left hand side in Internet Explorer, which was the default browser in our school, wouldn't allow us to go through the search tools, the more search tools here. So this is the reason why we installed it in school, is that in the Wonder Wheel it now allows us to go and search through parts of that element of search, because there's three areas of search. You're searching for something that's similar, or you're searching for shopping, or you're searching for a particular site. So then while we're going through the Wonder Wheel, it allows us to search on this page. The same with the timeline. So if I go to the timeline and go to Yuri Gagarin, you can actually see that this is obviously when this spike here is obviously when he went into space. What a lot of people have actually said about Google search is that, and using Google Chrome, is that they actually have to have a Google account, a Gmail account. And people always tend to say, oh, well, when I'm in Google Chrome, it never goes to my default language. Well, that's quite simple. So if you have a non-romanized script, and you actually have a romanized script, what I generally tell people to do is that because we can't understand all this language here, because it's in traditional Chinese, we'll change it to Elmerford first. Then we go over here and search and save our preferences, because we always know it's the same thing, it's the same layout no matter what language. And we can just say, we can see here, I'm feeling Wookiee. Go back into search settings and go into English. Save my preferences. And now it's in English. Now I can go and sign in. The other thing that we can do is, in school, this is what I talked about yesterday, and this isn't really to do with Google Chrome as such, but it's to do with using Safe Search in school, and this is locking down the Safe Search. Because in school we want the children with their accounts to have the colour balls in their search. So if I sign in and I go and lock the Safe Search, this will lock down your search across all Google domains. So when you log in, it should have locked your search when you log into Google Chrome on your other computers. So in school, when the children sign into their Gmail accounts, this is what we expect to see around the classroom. Just another reason why you should stop using Internet Explorer for the moment. If you're on an older version of Internet Explorer, or you're in a school that isn't updating Internet Explorer as frequently as you would do on your home computer, is that it gives you a wider variety of media through your internet browsing. You can see here that on the right hand side the video is very, very choppy. In HTML5 there's certain video types that will allow a much smoother element to video and media, especially if you're using it in the classroom. This isn't very good, and will quite quickly turn the children off. I'd actually like to talk about the spanner a little bit more, or the wrench. You can actually, if you're using it at home and you have children and younger children, and you don't want them to see particular sites that are sensitive or of a more mature nature, you can go to incognito and you get this little kind of sleuth character over here. This doesn't mean that it says here isn't going to affect the behaviour of other people, servers, etc., but it won't come up in their history in your computer. Lastly, search. This bar is like the wonder bar, or the super bar, whatever they call it in Firefox. You don't have to be typing, if you're doing a search, then you don't need to be typing when you could be typing edmodo.com into here. This is your search bar as well, unlike Internet Explorer, where it won't search by default, which can be a bit of a pain. One last thing, bookmarks. You can put folders in here, and you can add your bookmarks into folders, and this again will sync to it will automatically sync to your other Chrome browsers on your other computers. That's about it. Thank you.